So I'm not familiar with this.
Hello?
Charlie.
Who's this, Dom?
Yep. All right. You're in. You're in. Perfect.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right.
You
Good
got
deal.
me.
All right. Just wait. We got to wait a few minutes to get the other guys in, but
No problem. I'll just sit here and cool my heels.
there you go. I just logged in myself to try to get in.
No, I had to use the same type of system last week and all for the Republican convention. So.
All right. Good deal.
Yeah, the for state senate.
I didn't realize
so
that you were involved with that. All right.
Yeah, I'm on the town committee.
All right. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see where this all ends up going here. This is this COVID-19 thing is really disrupting a lot of things here.
I think it's crazy.
Yeah. I'm hoping it doesn't get any worse, but we'll see what happens. I think Bob may be on the line here, possibly. Bob is on there. All right, Bob. I can see you. Can you hear me, Bob? Nope, Bob can't hear me. Bob, unmute yourself. Let me see if I can unmute you. Yeah. Oh, Bob, can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, good man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there you go. Oh,
Can you hear me?
Thank God Nancy was able to help you out.
Oh, yeah, I don't know the first thing about this, so we might be getting her more than once here.
That's all right. And we have Charlie on the line as well, so that's good. It's you, me, and Charlie at this point.
Hey, Bob.
It's early yet. It's early.
Hey, Charlie, how are you?
Yeah, doing good.
Good, glad to hear that.
How are you feeling, Charlie, by the way? Okay?
Pretty good. They've got me on all sorts of immune suppressants, and so they kind of take a chunk out of you. But other than that, I'm existing.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, that's better than not, right?
Yeah, I know. I was out mowing the lawn today and working with a tractor yesterday, so
There you go. It'll take a lot
I just
out
can't
of
go places. That's all.
you. Yeah. Well, I don't
Are you
blame you.
having difficulty driving, Charlie?
No, not. I just can't be around people. That's all. Because I'm on an immune suppressants.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got to wear a lot of garlic and
There you go.
yeah,
Keep people away from you.
yeah.
Yeah, we should be able to have a quorum tonight. Now that Charlie's on, that's a good thing, because I was concerned more on the Middlefield side than the Durham side. So the fact that Charlie's on, that's great.
Yeah.
How was your day today, Bob? Exciting?
No, just busy as heck.
Yeah, it's not letting up, is it?
17 cars this morning at 8
Lined
o'clock
up before you opened, right?
before we opened.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna rip through this tonight here, right?
I hope so. Yeah, it's certainly the Durham Middlefield residents like to use a transfer station. There's a vast majority of them, about close to 80% of them. So
We're getting more use, but we're definitely getting more people right now.
yeah,
So, but
yeah, more people are home, right?
oh yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but the transfer station too is also a town meeting spot.
Well,
it's
no,
like the town green.
No, but it's been pretty good though, with people and what usually, usually it's the gathering, I call it, but they've been pretty good. I don't know about down by your way, but it's raining like heck here right now.
Yeah, it's raining right now, pretty good right now. It started about a half hour ago. Yeah, I think it's going to continue like this for another 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, off and on. It's that and fog.
Yeah, yeah. And then it should get nicer again. But I tell you, we really don't get into good stretches of continuous weather till sometime in June, you know?
Yeah, no, it's we don't have those prolonged period, those transition periods we used to have, March into April. You had the showers, and you had the sunny in May, and that now. I mean, one week it's we had what the other night, the other 3 days ago, 4 days ago, it was 38 degrees going to the transfer station, and this morning it was 64.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's all over the place. Like you say, we used to have some nice springs. You get the showers in April, beautiful Mays. We don't get, we don't have nice Mays any longer.
Well, Don, used to be outside a lot. How many times in April, going opening day of trout season, going in a t-shirt?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah, I was up in New Hampshire doing some trout fishing this weekend, and with my brother at in some of the streams up there, Bob. Boy, it's they have. Have you ever fished the Chippewa River?
No.
And they have some beautiful wide open pool areas and really nice. And these are very clean, pristine streams and rivers, and it looks like they just stocked too. So we made out pretty well.
Well, that's good. I used to fish up in the Meredith and up by the Kangamangas Highway.
Yeah,
and the notch and up there. I used to do some trout fishing there, and I used to do a lot in Vermont. But like you said, though, those mountain rivers and streams there are just so so nice. The water's cold. It's it's a lot different.
No, it's like you say, it's like taking a step back in time 50 years when you go up there, because it's extremely remote, unpopulated, wide open pastures. Very nice.
Down here, you got to fight for elbow room.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this was a Memorial Day weekend when it had just been stocked, and there were very few people on the streams. Like you say, in a situation like that, Charlie, you're right. Down at Fenton River,
Salmon River.
Or Salmon
You can't
River,
park
you're
your car.
elbow to elbow, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't park your car.
All right, we got a new guy joining here. Steve is going to join us, I think. Steve, can you hear us? Steve? No. Let's see if he can unmute himself.
Can you hear
Steve?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
All right, perfect.
There you go. So you're in. So we have Bob, Charlie, and myself
Steve.
so far.
Hi, Bob.
Is that your ATVs I see on the screen here?
Yeah, I don't have a webcam, so I just choose a picture from vacation.
Nice. Where is that?
Jericho Mountain, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, know exactly where it is.
Now, where's Jericho, Steve? Where's that?
It's pretty far north, on like the east side of New Hampshire.
Above Concord?
I don't know. It's like 5.5 hours up.
Oh, wow. That's way up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's closer to the border up there.
Yeah, you're going towards the Canadian border there.
Exactly. Yes. Yep.
Yep.
So is this number on here somebody that called in?
No, that's Charlie. That's Charlie.
Oh,
He dialed in. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a electronic Neanderthal.
Hey, at least you're in.
That's it.
I still have a flip phone.
Me too. Don't make fun of
I
that.
like those flip phones.
The kids got me one for, when I go hunting, fishing and all that, and if I'm alone, make sure that I have it, So they figured that if I only got it for a temporary period, I wouldn't use it or let it go. So they got me for my birthday, I guess, a while back, and they get me a 1-year deal, 1 year of time and I don't know, 1,200 minutes or something or what. So I'd never use that in 10 years probably, You guys busy over at the tree?
Oh yeah,
Steve? I
yeah.
imagine, huh?
We won quite a few bids this year, and we're doing a lot of the Housatonic Tunnel, a bunch of things.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's good.
Super busy this year though.
All right, we're at 7:58, so hopefully these guys will be joining us soon.
How early do you start the call? Because I usually try and get pretty close to 7.
Yeah, I started it today, started it probably about 10 of, quarter of. Usually I
Okay.
wait longer, but I decided to jump on earlier,
Mm-hmm.
make sure
Okay.
there weren't any problems.
Now you have to, Steve, you have to register those machines in New Hampshire or?
Yes, we do like a temporary registration, so it's like a 10-day registration.
Oh, really?
Yep, no insurance needed, just registration.
Oh, that's good.
And you can ride on the roads there, so you ride between towns and stuff.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay,
that's
we got
pretty good.
another person. This is going to be Heather that's going to be joining us here. Heather, how are you? Can you hear us, Heather?
Yep. Hi.
All right, there you go.
Hi,
There's
Heather.
Heather. We have Bob, Charlie, and Steve, and myself, Heather, right now.
Okay.
How's that homeschooling going?
Oh. Partially given up. No. The older two are fine. It's the 11-year-old.
The struggle. All right.
Yeah.
Brendan's on.
Hi, Brendan.
Brendan, can you hear us? No? Can you hear us, Brendan? He's got to unmute himself. Let's see.
Yeah, it always comes on muted.
Yeah, I'm just trying to unmute him here.
Got
There
it.
you go. Brendan, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Oh, hello.
You're good.
All right. We're in business.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting close here. We have right now, we have myself, Bob, Matt, Heather, Steve, Charlie, and yourself, Brendan.
Okay.
Dom, I'm just gonna need the recording link when this is all done so I can put it in the minutes.
Okay, did I send that as part of the email?
Well,
the agenda?
I think that the recording link is different, like where people could go and
All right, I'll have to find that for you then.
yeah, I'm not
where
sure
that is.
either.
All right, I believe that this gets recorded right at the, you know, it's
Right,
sent to-
uploaded to the-
recordings right that get sent to the town hall, I believe directly, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean I could probably
I'll figure it out.
yeah,
I'll
I can
figure it out and
email
I'll get it
Alicia
to you.
too.
Yep. Uh-oh, who's this? Ron?
Cool. Okay.
Ron, can you hear us? Ron, all right, there you go. You're live. All right, so Ron,
He's
you have
still
myself,
muted, I think.
Charlie, Bob, Heather, Brendan, and Steve on the line. All right,
Hi, Ron.
Ron is still muted for me.
Yeah, he's muted for me too.
Yeah.
You can't hear Ron?
Nope.
All right, let's see if we can get him up and going here. There you go. He's live now.
Good.
All right, so who are we waiting for? Waiting for Howard? Who else?
Frank?
Howard and Frank. I don't expect that Jim will call in, so.
No.
So just Howard and Frank. Frank is usually the one right on top of things here.
Welcome aboard, Bob.
Hey, hello, Ron. How are you?
Let me
I'm
see if
doing
I can
well.
reach out to Frank.
Let's go. My secretary has said this is overtime, so she
Uh-oh.
looked me all up here on her computer and everything and what, so I'm gonna have to up the ante, as she said today. But she's not gonna charge me computer rental, so that's good.
That's nice. So Heather, I sent a couple emails. Every time I send things out, they get bounced back from yours.
All right, here's Frank is gonna join
Oh.
us here.
Did you send it to att.net? Because I
Yes.
don't have that one anymore.
Frank, can you hear us? Frank? There you go. Frank and Lucy are here.
All right, we're here.
I'll leave Lucy on there.
All right, I'm just waiting for Howard.
Okay.
And then we have our full board here, with the exception of Jim, but I don't believe he's gonna call in.
Probably not. Right.
Hey,
Heather,
has
I did a
anyone seen
reply
Jim?
all. And that's what Dom sends out. Can you?
Yeah, I think both are on there because I do get your emails.
Okay.
I
right.
got one that you had typed up
All right, get out of the way.
a Word document. Is that what you're
One
talking
was,
about?
was a Word document and another one was a future agenda item.
Okay.
Howard, we're waiting for you to call in, dial in.
Now, if you want to mute for any reason, you go up here and you hit mute. Okay.
Okay, all right, great. All right, we'll wait for you to dial in then. All right,
It was a couple,
SpaceX here.
it was a few days ago, Heather.
Yeah, an agenda item. Okay, I got it. I did get it. So it's coming to, I think he has both emails on there and the one.
All right, Howard will be
I'm getting
joining
it.
us in a second here.
All right.
All right, here comes Howard. All right, let me see if I can get him unmuted and then we'll be all set.
So Dom.
Howard, can you hear us?
He's connecting to audio.
See him.
Wait, let me get him unmuted. All right, there you go. Howard, all right, you're live. Is everyone, Howard, can we hear you?
Yep. Can you hear me?
All right,
Oh, there he is.
Mhm.
So I guess we can start tonight's meeting. So Heather, we have Charlie, Frank, Brendan, Steve, Howard, Ron, and who else? Did I miss any other than myself? Did I miss anyone?
Nope, you got everybody.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. Okay, guys, once again, this is being recorded. And, so when we do speak, try to announce who's speaking because no one is going to know who's speaking unless you announce yourself. All right. And then we will start the meeting. We'll call it to order. What time is it right now? 7:06, right? Heather, are you good to go?
Yep.
Okay, all right. So we'll have the roll call. Heather, are you all set with the individuals that are on the line?
Yep, got them all.
Okay, so I just need a motion for an approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
I'll second. Howard.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Oh, I heard someone speak up. All right, I guess we'll move, Bob. We're going to move right on to you, the site manager report.
Okay. Hey, my best wishes to all during this pandemic. Hopefully all the families are well and we stay that way. All right, back to the site. The Kenworth, our turbo broke on that. It had to be replaced, which was a $6,400 bill. We had a loader coolant leak and that turned out to be a simple, well, not simple, but a good fix. Inside the heater core, there was a line that actually broke and Scott Wiles was able to find that and we were able to fix that. So that was pretty good. Durham and Middlefield brush pickups are done. Ron, we gave hundreds and hundreds of yards of mulch away. I don't have the exact figure, but I think we're closing in on about 800 yards right now. Next, the Boy Scouts, where the bottling cans were being taken. They have not taken them for about 3 months. And I just happened to be talking to my neighbor who has an acquaintance that has a bottle and can redemption center in Stratford. And I hooked them up, and the Boy Scouts were bringing some down there today to see the facility and to take and see if we can have them either pick up or bring and alleviate the bags and bags of bottles and cans we have in storage there now. As the site, if you people have been in, you can see how busy it's been. 17 cars in line at 8 o'clock this morning. Just for information on our normal February, March, we had 174 tons of MSW in February. And in March, we went up to 231 tons. April, we went up to 217 tons, and our demo went from 29 tons in February to 51 tons in March and 64 tons in April. That's how busy we've been. And that's all I have.
All right. Great job, Bob. And we also, I think that we've hit our quota for our stickers, correct? I mean, at this point, I guess, are you still looking for people that don't have stickers, or we have suspended that at this point, or?
Well, yeah, we suspended that. We look for them. If we do, we put them in a logbook, and we tell them they have to get. But we have an influx of new people coming in using the site because they're home, and like a person came today, and I'm not going to sell them a sticker today, and we're going to be selling new ones in a month.
Right.
So we take their, we got their driver's license, registration, make sure they're a resident, give them the what we do, who we don't, give them a pamphlet on the charges and stuff, and let them dump, and we have them all on record, their name, address, and vehicle number, registration. So we still the new stick, we just put them right in the system and charge them.
All right, great. You guys do a great job up there, and I know every time I stop in, everyone is always hard at work there, and I know it's not an easy job dealing with the public. That's for sure. So,
Actually, most of the public's been pretty good.
Good. And I think Middlefield has made sure that the health district was a Plainville Southington that Middlefield is currently a member of. They have provided us with signs, the hand sanitizers, and so forth. Right, Bob?
Yeah. Well, matter of fact, my hats off to Ed Bailey, who has been instrumental in getting us all the equipment and sanitizers and masks and everything. Today, he showed up with 2 buckets of sanitary wipes. I think there's 100 or 200 wipes in a bucket to have on site, which is phenomenal because we were down to like 6.
Okay, that's good news. That's good
Yeah.
news. So that's great. We all seem to be working together, coming together. So that's a good sign. And I think once again, you have to reach out, thank Middlefield for some of the things they're doing to help us through this. Right, the next item on the agenda, we're going to go to new business, which is the approval of the fiscal year 2021 annual permit fee. And as you know, in February, when we prepared the budget and we discussed that, this goes way back to starting in February, we did not have a March meeting, and we moved the budget along in February. At that point, we had indicated that we would keep the annual permit fee at $30. And what I did a few years ago is I requested a joint meeting of the town's boards of finance and the boards of selectmen. What was happening was that initially when we presented our budget, I would present it to the town of Durham separately and then the town of Middlefield separately. And then what was happening, there was a lot of discussion and not necessarily agreement on the annual sticker fee. And Middlefield did not want to increase the annual sticker fee for a number of years. Durham was inclined to do so. So at some point, it was best, I felt, to bring the 2 boards of finance and the boards of selectmen together so that there could be a joint discussion together to get some consensus on where we wanted to go with this. And as I said, in February, we moved the budget forward with a $30 annual permit fee. We attended the joint meeting in early March, And there, and Charlie, I wanted to thank you for attending. Charlie was there, and there was a lengthy discussion about this issue, and it lasted for quite some time. And in the end, there seemed to be a consensus, and it's the first time we've had a consensus in 5 years on where to go with this annual permit fee. And so both boards of finance from each town and the boards of selectmen from each town voted to increase, voted to recommend an increase in the sticker fee to $50. Obviously, it's our call to vote on it and increase the sticker fee, but there seemed to be very much a consensus among everyone after lengthy discussions. I mean, and there were even, discussions regarding, what the fee should be, but ultimately there seemed to be an agreement on increasing the sticker fee to $50 annually. And the one thing I do want to say about this, I think it's important that, the boards of finance to get together jointly, boards of selectmen, because in my opinion, anyway, this is really a public policy decision, and where the towns want to go with this permit fee, because if it's not paid through user fees, right, the cost of operating the facility, it's coming through taxpayer dollars. Okay, so I think the input from everyone was important. There was a lengthy discussion, and I think Jim Irish said it best for Middlefield, and he indicated, look at, I think that everyone here has had an opportunity to speak, share their opinions on this matter. And then we went around the room, and there seemed to be a unanimous agreement to recommend increasing the sticker fee to $50. So the new budget that I forwarded to you reflects that change. Currently, our annual revenue from the sticker fees at $30 is about $92,000. That will now increase with a $50 annual sticker fee to $152,000. And Charlie, do you have any more to say on that issue? I mean, there were some people, I have to be honest, that would have liked to see it higher. Some people, were thinking maybe $100. It went back and forth, but I think we finally settled on a recommendation of 50 anyway.
Yeah, I think that was a good consensus.
Yeah. I think in the end, everyone seemed to be in agreement. So the other issue that came up and that was discussed at length was creating a commercial fee for pickup trucks of $100. And that was discussed at length. And initially, it started out as anyone with a pickup truck would pay the commercial fee. And then as the discussion continued, it was deferred to those trucks with combination plates. And then that changed to any truck with a business logo. And then eventually, I think the consensus was that maybe only those trucks registered in company names would be charged $100. And in my opinion on this, and there was lengthy discussion about this, and I'm thinking that, and I did raise a fact that a lot of homeowners have pickup trucks, a lot of businesses have pickup trucks, and those business owners transport their residential waste, obviously, through their commercial vehicles or pickup trucks. It doesn't necessarily mean they're bringing in waste from their businesses, but most people that do have a truck transport their MSW, recyclables, whatever they're bringing to the transfer station via the pickup truck. And so there was a recommendation to try to create a commercial fee for $100. I mean, I to be honest with you, I've heard from a lot of people that saw this in the minutes, and a lot of people have indicated to me they simply will not pay the $100 fee. And so one of the concerns I have is an enforcement issue. I mean, how are we going to enforce this? Because literally, if they refuse to pay, it means that, we have to deny them access. To deny them access, I suspect we're going to end up having to go to court to do that, because I think most likely it will be challenged. But as a sidebar, what I was thinking, knowing that we're going to $50, and hopefully we can all agree on that, that maybe this year anyway, what we do is we track when Bob's selling the stickers. We'll just create a separate column just to see how many pickup trucks are actually registered in their business names, and just to get some idea of what we're looking at. And I thought that might be a place to start anyway, without actually imposing $100 commercial fee for this fiscal year. But it's open for discussion, and just, whatever you guys want to talk about, that's fine. Any thoughts, Howard?
Yeah, I find it interesting that the same people that fought against us trying to determine who the heavy users were are the same people that are now trying to implement a fee on what they perceive to be heavy users without having any data. So I find that interesting.
No, and I agree with you on that, and I am still a very strong proponent of that license plate recognition. And this is one of the reasons, and I tend to agree with you. I mean, if we are going to increase this fee for heavy users, it would be nice to have the data to support that, because if we get challenged on that.
Having a pickup truck does not mean you're a heavy user.
Right.
Coming in 5 times a week with heavy loads means you're a heavy user.
Correct. And currently, we don't have any means of tracking that, and that's why we've been pursuing this license plate recognition system, right?
Yep.
And so, Charlie, any comments on that? You were there that evening. You saw, what happened, and we seemed to discuss a lot of issues, and I think we kind of settled on that one. But interesting in your thoughts on it.
Well, they just went kind of in circles.
Yeah, no, it was. Everyone had a difference of opinion. Some people were even promoting, I think, a $300 fee for commercial.
The problem I have is none of these people have any knowledge about what they're discussing.
That's the major part of the problem.
The people on the finance committee, when they came out one time, they had no idea of anything about what they were talking about. I mean, they just didn't understand. They didn't understand the operation. They didn't understand the purpose of what we're doing. They didn't understand the transfer station in general, and they're throwing out fees. And if they want to be part of this, join this board. Don't sit back and think you can run it without having any knowledge of how anything works, or sit and talk to us. I put very little credence in anything that comes out of that.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think there's a general lack of understanding of the operations, and but like you say, my personal opinion is I'm somewhat reluctant to impose a commercial fee at this time without any data to support these heavy users, and I think it's important to do that step first. But Frank, any thoughts on your part? Ron?
Yeah, I got a pickup truck, and I only go to the dump every 3 weeks, and I don't bring a lot.
$400 for you. $400.
Yeah, right. 400. So you can't. I don't think you can do it with just every pickup truck that comes in.
That's ridiculously short-sighted.
Yeah, my neighbor goes to the transfer station with one bag in his truck.
Yeah,
but he goes there 3 times a week. But still, it's not a lot of trash that he's putting in there.
In Meriden, we actually just approved a lower fee for cars because there's only so much you can put in. And we also just approved a license fee for commercial users. We have our transfer station manned at the entrance nonstop, so we can take data on who's going to be there. That's not how this one works. We don't have the funding or staffing to man it nonstop. We're identifying who the heavier users are, verifying where they're getting their loads from, essentially giving them a questionnaire. But it's also still a pass-through, and we don't take MSW. MSW is where we're getting killed. A heavy user throwing out MSW is really the problem here. Bulky waste I don't care about because it's a pass-through cost. But we really have to identify who these heavy MSW users are.
Right. And I tend to agree. And like I say, I am a big supporter of the license plate recognition. I think that's going to help us get to where we need to be. But so what do you guys, first off, what do you guys think on the issue of the $50 annual permit fee?
Still a bargain.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
you've heard, you've
it's
$1 a week.
heard what my thought is, and I've put it in writing and I sent it out to everyone. We're gonna have no choice about the $50 thing. That's just a pro forma.
And it's out of our hands anyway.
Completely agree.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I sent you guys that transportation analysis I did, and currently, for this year's fiscal 2021, starting July 1st, the total cost of operating the facility is $716,000. That breaks down to a total of $13.94 per month per household to dispose of most of the residential waste, some commercial waste in both towns. And so when you look at it from that perspective, I believe some of these commercial haulers are getting close to $32 a month, and they're basically just focused on MSW and recyclables. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I think we're all doing a great job. The costs economically are extremely low, in my opinion. And with this new $50 increase, the towns, through tax dollars, of that $13.94 per month, the towns through tax dollars will be paying $8.36 per month per household. The residents will be paying $5.58 per month per household. So I think it's still a bargain, obviously. I personally don't have any problems with increasing the sticker fee. We haven't increased the sticker fee since July of 2014. And July 1st, 2014. And we always have waited at least 3 years or so to reconsider increasing that fee. And there was a lot of opposition in 2017, 2018, and even last year to increase it. But this year there seems to be consensus. So I'm in support of it. If someone wants to make a motion, we could do that and at least move that portion of it forward.
I'll make a motion to support the $50 sticker fee as proposed by the Durham Board of Finance.
Well, it's actually both boards of finance and
Both boards,
boards of finance.
as proposed by the Durham Board of Finance and Middlefield Board of Finance.
Okay, just need someone to second that.
I second, this is Ron, I will second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 All right, anyone opposed? Okay. Now, as far as the commercial fee, as I indicated, I think maybe a good starting point right now is to maybe just try to have Bob, when you're looking at the registrations, just put a check mark, or we'll create a
Well,
separate column to identify just how many of these are actually registered
Yeah, when we do,
to their commercial businesses.
well, when we do the sticker sheets, what we'll do when we put them and when we log them in the computer, what we'll do, everyone that has a business name or, you know, something affiliated with a business, what we'll do is we'll just put like a C, which will mean commercial, and then we'll make a list of those. And then what we will do, we'll monitor them and see what they come in for loads. And if, like, you know, I'll tell Dave or whoever's up to the compactor, hey, you know, Ben's home and garden is coming in right now. What if they got a substantial amount instead of the 4 or 5 bags in the household, weigh them and we'll get an idea. And it'll be easy to pick out the ones that, like Howard said, come in 3, 4, 5 times or have big loads. Because, like Frank said, some people come with, from Frank to Kyle, his neighbor, to his other neighbor, they come in with pickups, but they, have minimal household trash. So we'll monitor that, and we'll get a listing of all those, and we'll input them, and if we see abuse or, big loads, we will weigh them, and we'll present it and go from there.
Yeah, and I appreciate that attempt, Bob. And what we're going to try to do, and we're going to discuss it later in the meeting, is try to get you help with this license plate recognition, because I know the times I'm in there, at times there are 200 cars an hour. Your head will spin just trying to keep track of what's going on up there. I mean, it's there was one situation this last week where, even when you notify people up top of what's happening, it just becomes so busy at times that it's difficult to monitor everything that's going on up there. Right?
Tell the board 2 weeks ago how long it took you to get from the trash MSW compactor to the brush pile to get rid of your brush.
Yeah, it was just, yeah. There's just so many people using the facility, and I don't think people have a good understanding of just how frequently it's being used. So I think that's a good starting point at this point, and then we'll revisit this again. And I'm hoping by the end of next year, we have some sort of license plate recognition system, and I'm hoping some means of financing it, to be honest with you. But the next thing is going to be the approval of the revised budget that was shared with you in February. And now that we voted on the annual fee, there were a couple of changes. Obviously, are going to be line item 103-06, that you're going to see an increase in revenue from the increased annual sticker permit fee. That will increase the total revenue to $152,000 annually from sticker permit fees versus the $92,000. The other issue that came up in line item 450-10, the boards of finance and the board of selectmen both agreed that they did not want us to pursue the lease purchase of a new truck this year. Usually we rotate them on a 10-year frequency. The benefit to doing that is that we get an extremely good trade-in value. And at this point, we did go out, did our homework. It was about $60,000 they were offering us on the vehicle. And, it comes in close to almost a third of the cost of a new vehicle. So right after that 10-year mark, the trade-in value seems to diminish fairly quickly. So I was disappointed that they decided not to fund the purchase of that vehicle. But once again, it was a decision they made. They discussed it at length at the meeting. There was quite a bit of discussion about transportation costs. I sent out that transportation analysis to everyone to review. But ultimately, what they did is they removed the $32,000, that annual lease payment, 5-year payment, and then we own the truck at the end of the 5-year lease. They removed that from the budget so that they, there was a reduction in expenses of $32,000 related to not pursuing the purchase of that new truck. So those are the only two changes in the budget as we proposed those back in February. And so, that's, like you say, I think there was unanimous agreement, once again, not to pursue that purchase. And so that's where the two revisions are in the budget that we moved forward back in February. So with that noted, open it up for discussion, and then at that point we can just vote on approving the budget as amended, and that was shared with you guys this week. Anyone have any comment on that?
This is Ron, and yes, I do have a comment. And they are basically micromanaging how we run the system.
Well, that's a surprise.
It's I can understand why they're doing this, and they're in order to cost shift from their fiscal mess onto ours. And they may be right about the what's going on with the trucks. However, if by next year at this time it comes up that it doesn't make sense for us to outsource the drivers because of things that Dom will tell you after I'm done. And it sets up where we lose money because we did not do it in a timely manner. Then I reserve the right to say, we told you so. And, doing it in a somewhat of a, public forum.
You can do it in a snooty way too, if you would like.
Thank you very much, Howard.
I
Permission.
think that, yeah, it's important to note that, we'll monitor this year, as Ron suggested. We'll see what the repair costs are in that vehicle. I think, the optimum time to trade that vehicle is after a 10-year period. And one of the big things, and Bob, you could jump in on this, you're certainly familiar with it, is that with this new liquid road salt, that we have never seen the corrosivity on the frames of these trucks and what it is doing to the frames. And we had to send out that Kenworth vehicle, 2010, and have that entire frame sandblasted, recoated because of the damage that was done by the road salt. I've never seen anything like it, and it's something new since they started using the liquid salt. So that
Only
was
we
one
need
of my
some-
main concerns, is that I'm not sure it's really prudent to hang on to a vehicle for more than 10 years in this environment. But like
If
I
only we
said,
knew somebody at the Department of Public Health.
there you go.
Ah,
And but
wait,
we'll
guys,
see.
I'm out of there.
Yeah, we'll see. See where this goes. We'll monitor the costs this year, and we'll try again next year based upon the results of what we see this year. I think one other thing too, before we vote on the budget. I mean, I know that there was a lot of discussion over the last, and we were at one point paying $69 a ton for the MSW cost for disposal fee, the tip fee. And then last year it went to 83. This year it's going to 91. And so over the 2-year period, there's going to be a cost of $60,000, an increase of $60,000 just in the MSW tip fee to maintain what we're currently operating at, which is about 2,700 ton of MSW per year. So I think the town's thought was that they really wanted that to be absorbed through these user fees, and I don't think they were interested in absorbing that cost through taxpayer dollars. So I think that was one of the contributing factors, to increasing that annual fee. But other than that, it is what it is. We have the revised budget, and
All right, this is Ron. I do have a postscript on about the budget. What I see, the budget is based on the assumptions of the old normal. As Bob has pointed out, we are now in a new normal in which the volumes are much different. I cannot extrapolate how the new normal is going to impact on the old normal, but it seems like a lot of the waste that was being done commercially has shifted to the personal when the people are now staying at home, and we are seeing a large jump in the amount of MSW. I don't know how that's going to impact it. I cannot anticipate see what our future expenses will be, but I think this budget as written is a working working model that we don't have much choice about changing. This is an up or down vote.
yeah, I agree. I tend to agree. I think we just move this forward. And I agree with Ron, and as Bob stated, I mean, it seems as people are home, the tonnages are increasing for the MSW, the demolition, and I think that we're all going to be somewhat surprised just to see what the annual tonnage is for this year. And if this continues for a longer period of time where people are working from home, I think it is going to establish a new norm, as Ron suggests, which means that these increases in tonnages may be ongoing for some time. But let's see where it goes, and we'll monitor it, and we'll have to adjust accordingly. All right, so I just need a motion now to move this budget forward for an approval. Someone, anyone interested in making a motion?
This is Ron. I'll make a motion to move the budget
Yeah.
as written.
All right, anyone, I need a second.
I'll second it.
Second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? All right, and the thing, I appreciate that, Heather, you have that vote, right? Okay, and so I think I appreciate everyone's efforts in this regard. I mean, I think we, like you say, when you look at the bottom line here, $13.94 per month per household. I mean, I think that's a phenomenal number. I don't think anyone could ever come close to that number with everything that we do there. And we handle all the waste streams, not just MSW and recyclables. I am concerned going into next year's budget because, Howard, as you know, the MIRA is only under contract through June of 2021, and that's the end of this budget for recyclables. Right now, we are not paying a tip fee for recyclables. Some towns are paying somewhere in the order of $80, $90 for the recyclable tip fee. So it could be an entirely different ballgame come June 2021. And I also anticipate there will be another increase in the MSW tip fee at that point, but we'll deal with it when it comes. And to be honest with you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if that annual permit fee went higher again next year, but let's see where it takes us and we'll deal with it going forward, right? All right, let's see, old business, Howard and Ron. Once again, the license plate recognition system, I do want to pursue that, Howard.
I have some questions on that.
All right.
Filling out the application.
Yes.
I'm actually going to call it, the program is for implementing a pay-as-you-throw system. That's where the funding is. So what I want to do is I want to tie this into pay-as-you-throw.
Okay, that's fine. Yep.
And the way I'm wording it is license plate recognition will permit for the identification of heavier users and direct them to the scale for pay-as-you-throw. This will reduce waste and fairly distribute costs to the users of the transfer station.
No, I think that's great. I think that's great.
Partial, so it's essentially covering pay-as-you-throw, but it's going to take a year for us to get there, which is fine.
Right.
Partial pay-as-you-throw has better opportunity for acceptance as it does not impact all users. Full pay-as-you-throw requires significant resources that a small town transfer station cannot afford. What do we have, 3,100 users?
Yeah, about approximately 3,100, yep.
3,200.
3,200, yeah.
Yep, 3,200.
Does that include some replacement stickers, duplicate, Bob, or no?
But it's I think like there's just about 3,200.
Okay, 3,200. All right.
Because it's with the replacements and what I think we were 32, 320 or something like that.
Okay, great. So then they're asking for a number of households and percentage of total households and municipality that will participate in the SMART program. The goal is 3,200 users are going to participate in the SMART program. We're only going to require payment. I said our goal is 20%, so that puts us about 650 users.
Yeah, that's a good estimate, possibly. Yeah.
And then I guess the question is how many and what percentage of households in the municipality or region will be covered by the SMART program? How many municipalities are covered how many households are in Durham and Middlefield?
I've got that number here for you. Just give me a second. I can find that for you.
Can I ask Howard a question?
Anytime.
All right. Let me just one question here, Bob. Howard, for Durham and Middlefield, total number of households?
Yes.
4,284.
Fantastic. That looks exact. How many do we know how many businesses?
No, I did not track businesses. No.
Okay.
Because we typically are just focusing on residential waste, so.
Sure. That's fine. Go ahead, Bob, you had a question?
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the final page here on page 3 of 6 on the budgets. And like I said, I didn't go to Harvard, and you are a very knowledgeable person. How do we go from 2011, 2012 with a budget of $847,000, and we go now with so many more? Our hours have expanded, our clientele, our sticker sales are more, so much more volume, and we go down to $716,000. How do we reverse that, Howard?
Well, the reason it happened is excellent site administration, I think.
Yeah, I think we really started to focus on, where we could improve, and I think that you know, if you look at the numbers, you know, certainly, you know, I think that we've been pretty much stable over the last 10 years, and you're actually starting to see the last few years, there's been a reduction in the total cost of operating the facility. And I think it's just streamlining and efficiency that really has gotten us there. So,
Yeah, workflow management.
Yeah, it's being
All right.
run like clockwork.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
the other thing is like our clock's going to be a little off time, I think, because until this pandemic comes to some kind of, you know, normalcy here, because it's just crazy right now.
Yeah.
So there's some other issues here, and you know, has SMART been approved by a governing body, mandated by a local ordinance, or approved by a municipal referendum? I think at some point we're gonna at DIMIAB is going to approve it. You know, we're going to pursue SMART, but only in this format. You know, the legitimate SMART program is insane, and I don't think anybody would actually pursue that.
yeah, and what we would do is we would use this system to implement a SMART program, right?
Yeah,
Based upon
exactly.
heavy users, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's where I think it's heading, right?
Yeah. So would we want to at the next meeting? Do we pass resolutions? How would we actually do it?
Well, I think we would just like we do anything else, we would have to publish it and promote it, and people would have an opportunity to comment on it. But I think that you know, until we get a good understanding of you know, how we're going to use this data, and hopefully we can get the funding to implement it.
Well, they want SMART approved for the data collection. I mean, we have to tie the data collection into a SMART program. I'm just going to say it hasn't been approved yet, but we can always pursue that.
I would say that it pending based upon financing of this, you know, what this license plate recognition and billing of heavy users, right?
Right. Or pickup trucks. Hell, well, we can use this for Laura's system. We can have it programmed to identify all pickup trucks and send them to the scale.
Yeah.
It can do anything she wants.
It could be used in a number of different ways, right? Right.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and actually, after a given period of time, let's say 3 to 6 months, that same identical truck, if it's identified as a you know, a low user, you can just ignore it from thereafter.
Exactly. Yep. So Frank will only have to pay a lot for a couple months.
And it's just till we get some. Yeah, right. Thanks.
Send Lucy
well-
incognito.
I'm going to send, Dominic, can I send a draft of this out for review, or is that something that
send that out to everyone's review. We'll let us comment on it, and then we'll try moving it forward. I tell you, I think it'd be great if we get the funding for this, because there seems to be not necessarily an agreement on how to proceed with this as far as financing it.
they want pay as you throw in some way, shape, or form.
Right. So I think this is a great idea that you have, Howard, of tying this together, using this data to tie us into some sort of pay as you throw program where we're identifying the heavy users, right?
And that way we can get municipal support on it. If I can get Ed and Laura to sign off on it, I think we're golden.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. Yeah.
All right, and I'll talk to DEP to see if they like my new way to.
This is very clever.
And if
Howard.
not, we'll come back and do what we have to refine it, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'll talk to her tomorrow.
All right, I appreciate it.
Sweet.
All right.
You know, Howard, I actually, if you weigh me going out versus going in, I'm heavier going out than coming in.
What do you
We
throw
have that
mulch on?
issue.
What do you throw mulch on the back?
I take about maybe between a yard and a yard and a half cubic yard out in wood chips.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah.
Hey, but Ron, you haven't told me you've been taking our cardboard too lately.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right. Next item under old business is the license registration private haulers. Once again, just a brief update on this. We've discussed it many times. All the private haulers, with the exception of one, have complied with our registration requirements and insurance requirements. We were all set to go.
The court?
You know, pursuing that. The marshal, I have everything in place, all the paperwork. And when I contacted the marshal, the COVID-19 had interrupted that. So that should start up again in June. And at that point, I will move that forward and, get that to the marshal so that the hauler that can be served. And then we'll just pursue that through the court system. And that's all on that issue.
And
then
that's
Ron, the last
retroactively as well?
issue. What's that?
That's retroactively as well?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And the last issue, Ron, just a brief update if you can on the composting units. And I know the COVID-19 is impacting that as well, but I just want to make sure we're staying on top of that.
See, we will, if I can find a way of doing so safely. I was actually thinking about, before this whole thing happened, was going to the farmer's market and, doing like what Chris used to do. But I'm in a vulnerable group, and so it's tough.
Yeah, well, just like you said, let's wait. Let's see how this moves along. I'm thinking, Ron, maybe if we could do it online somehow, where we could, maybe if you could prepare something that we could post and then see what the interest is and then order, based upon the interest.
We've got the enough spares for for a while, and I'm looks like the Durham Garden Club has a Facebook website, so I'm going to try to deal with that.
All right, yeah, let's try to get something online maybe, because I think this is going to go on for a while, and at least we could generate some interest and see how people will proceed with this, and then get some idea how many units to order, and I think that may be a good starting point, I believe. All right.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I just want to try to, because that is a key component of Deep's emphasis on trying to manage and reduce waste. And one of the big things they're focused on are these home composting units. So I think it's important to just make sure that is an option that's available to the public. And once again, we do finance 50% of the cost of that, so there is an incentive for a resident to pursue that. So I think it's important that we continue to do that. Last opportunity, public comment. I don't think anyone dialed in this evening. But once again, this entire meeting is recorded. I suspect that we may have some inquiries after the meeting, because anyone will be able to jump in and listen to the recording. Heather, I think the approval of the minutes. I know we haven't met since February. Do we have to approve the February minutes?
Yeah, and I think that the last time we met, the February minutes were when Howard had his presentation on the license plate. So if
All right,
you
you
guys
want to hold
remember-
off on that, and then if you could send those out again to the guys, and we'll vote on that in June. And I'm hoping by June, we're going to be able to get back together again, right? I'm hoping. I keep hearing rumors that there may be meetings allowed up to 30 people as effective June 20th, but that's just a rumor at this point.
In June, it'll be daylight outside, and you can be on picnic benches outside.
Right. As long as the governor lifts that 5 to 10 person restriction, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the key right now, that executive order. But other than that, that's all I have. If you guys have any more comments, just let me know, and then we can discuss those before we adjourn for the night.
We can have our meeting at the scale. You have a light there, right?
What's that?
There's a light there.
Well, lawn chairs on scale.
Yeah,
there you go. That'll work.
Well, hey, Ed Bailey stopped in to bring us some, like I said, sanitary wipes today. And he said that the June meeting, I guess, for some of the different Board of Selectmen meetings and stuff like that, and that they're visiting the probability of having it like at Peckham Field, with a safe distance and different things and stuff like that with lighting and if the governor does that. So you might be hearing something from our other selectmen and stuff like that. So we might be meeting outside.
Idea. I think these outdoor meetings, as long as the restrictions are lifted, I think it's better to do this in person so the public can attend, right?
Not a
I think
problem.
that's all I have. Anyone else in any comments?
Nope.
No.
We should be
All
good
right,
to go.
stay
All right.
safe, everyone.
All right, thanks, guys.
Always,
Everyone
Bob.
be safe. Appreciate all your efforts. And like you say, I think we do a great job and, just be safe, okay?
Okay,
Sure.
thanks.
Yeah, take,
All right.
Thanks, Tom.
All right.
take care,
Guys.
everybody. Have a good night.
Take
Good night.
care,
All right,
guys.
bye.
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 All right, dude.